Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Wigging Out with Bobby Z, hosted by me, Bobby Z. It's a Wiggy Weavy Wednesday, and it's a tutorial today, so yay! I did a tutorial a while ago, I'll put the link right here, about how to sew wefting into a wig. Ever since I made that video, people have been asking me over and over again about how to sew wefting into a lace front wig. Now, to me, it seems kind of easy, like it's kind of the same thing, but I know not everybody thinks the way that I do, and not everyone does everything the way that I do, so I figured, hey, I might as well just show a tutorial for you guys since I have to sew some hair into a wig anyway. Since I've had this project for months from my girlfriend Sasha, I just got too busy to do it, and it involves sewing hair into a lace front. I figured, hey, if I'm going to do it anyway, I might as well make a video and a tutorial. Smart thinking. So here we go. So this is actually a wig that she gave me, so I don't know the name of it. It is by the A+ collection. Japanese synthetic fiber made in China. Now, she brought this wig to me months ago. This is a wig she already had, so I'm not really sure of exactly what color it is or what style it is. It does look like a 27-613 to me. It's just like a nice golden blonde blend. It is a lace front, as you can see, but it's one of the good ones that has, you know, like a whole bunch of parting up here on the top, and then it has maybe like an inch or so on the sides. So it's pretty decent. It's pretty good lace front, and the lace is soft. It's not that plasticky hard lace. It's soft. Forget to turn off my screensaver when I do these videos, and I'm talking, and then 5 minutes in, boom, the screensaver goes off, and I'm like, I hate this shit. So I have to go and turn it off and find it and click never. There is a decent amount of wefting in this wig. However, a lot of it is shorter length hair. Now, she literally said to me, feel free to throw some hair into it if you need to. And I was like, okay. And I'm looking at it, and then she asked me if I was going to have to add hair, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think so. Like, it seems like there's a lot of hair in this. It'll be good. And then I started to tease it, and I realized that, like, all of that hair that made it feel full were like shorter internal layers. So when I teased it, you can see through it. Like, I can see the camera through the hair. Like, this just looks ratty and gross. I'm going to take about 2 packs of hair. I have 2 packs available to me. I'm not quite sure if I'll need all of it, but I have it. If you want to see how to sew hair into a lace front wig, stay tuned. I'm going to be using the Dios Remi hair, and if you guys subscribe to my channel, you know that I bought this stuff when I was in Pittsburgh in September. So that is how long I've had this wig for Sasha. I am so sorry. And I got it in the 27-613, and I got an 18-inch and I got a 14-inch just because this wig has such distinct layering. I wanted to get a longer and a shorter. I'm also going to be using my favorite Highmark thread. I don't know what color this is. You can get Highmark at sewing supply stores. You can also order it online. Highmark's great. Usually on hand, I have like 6 or 7 different spools. So I'll have like 4 or 5 different colors of blonde. I'll have black. I'll have a brown. I'll have white. So this is a new one. I actually haven't used it yet, but this is like a dark beigey kind of blonde, and it matches the wig, so I'm going to use that. You also need a curved needle. You guys can get these at sewing supply stores. I like to use ones that have a point on them. I know some people use ones that don't, but personally, I like a point. You'll also need a pair of scissors. Also need a wig block and a stand. Now, you can do this on a styrofoam head, I guess. Please invest in a canvas head. I know that they're sort of expensive to, you know, kind of put down $50 or whatever dollars on something, but it's really going to come in handy, and it's going to make such a big difference. So please get a canvas head, please. You'll also need a wig brush and a whole bunch of clippies. This wig has a lot of hair in it. This is big. This is a lot of hair. But when you actually have it teased up, it looks bald. It's so weird. So first things first is you want to brush your wig thoroughly. And then what you want to do is, if your wig is like this one and it has a large lace parting area, you want to section all of that out with your brush. Once you have all of that sectioned off, just kind of twist it and put it in a clip to keep it out of your way. Now, how I like to do this is I kind of like to make it easy for myself. 3 or 4 sections in the back, just to clip it all up so that it's less of a hassle later when I'm going through and sewing and taking down sections. Once I have it all clipped up, I like to go in and I like to take more pins and I like to pull this part forward and stretch it out as much as I can so that when I add the wefting in later, the stitches aren't going to shrink it down to make it too small to wear. Put your pin in to counter it this way. And you won't have to worry about your wig shrinking when you sew hair into it. Repeat on the other side. Because this wig is so bald here on the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sew a piece of wefting on the inside so that later if Sasha ever wants to put it up, she can and she won't worry about this line showing. And also it'll just thicken out that bottommost bit. Because I have two different lengths of hair, I am starting with my 18-inch on the bottom because that's where this wig is longest. And then I'm going to use the 14 on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my thread and go right in there with my curved needle. I'm going to tilt the head down a little bit just so I can see exactly what I'm doing. Now that I have this piece of weft sewn in, I'm going to take down about 1 or 2 wefts here in the back and I'm going to put a line of hair right here. I keep losing the end of this hair. There it is. Okay. Start sewing hair in between these 2 tracks right here. Now that I'm getting into the actual foundation part of the wig, I'm going to start sewing every other track. Because this wig already has a lot of hair in it, if I go every single track, it'll be ridiculously crazy thick and unmanageable for me to roller set and tease out later. But if you're going to just keep the wig straight or you're going to sew curly hair into a curly wig, sew every single track if you want to. It's fine. Just for me personally, I find that it gets a little bit unmanageable if I do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to sew weft every other track. And I'm going to sew it, I'm going to fold it over and tack it down really good on each side and then just fold it over just to save time and to use all the hair that I have and get it nice and full. Okay, so now that I have the back done, I just braided it so that it would stay out of my way. Now I've gotten to the part of the wig where the lace front meets the wefted back. So instead of going over and folding it every time like I did down here, I want it to be as seamless as possible from lace front to weft. So I'm just going to cut them. Yes, I wear this around my neck like a scarf. Anyway, so now that I've reached the top portion of the wig, I figured I'd show you guys this real quick. Once you get to the top of the wig, as with most wigs, this is wefting sewn onto like a stiffer lace fabric. So here I'm going to go through and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to separate out weft by weft, and go in and sew the hair every other again. The next and final step is optional. So as you can see, I finished sewing all my hair and braided the back sections. This is a lot of hair, everybody. So now you can see the way that this wig is made. The wefting in the interior portion here goes horizontally, but there is one piece where it connects to the lace front that goes vertically like this all the way across. Now I'm just going to add another piece of wefting right here to just kind of beef up that section and also beef up the front portion of the wig. Now if your wig doesn't have one of these, that doesn't mean you can't add it. I would only not add something like this if your wig has a very, very small amount of lace in the front, or one of those wigs where the wefting comes like this and then the lace front is like right here. Then you might not want to add a piece of wefting there because it'll be kind of difficult to mask it. But if your wig is like this, where it has at least about a ½ inch of lace in the front, feel free to add a piece all the way across like I'm about to do. Okay, so now I'm all done sewing that hair in, and you can see that it is real thick, girl. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roller set it, steam it, and style it. Now, if you want to, you can go in and you can cut more layers into it, or if you used hair that was a lot longer than your wig and you want the wig to be the same length it was, you can go through and cut out the longer pieces. But since I used 18-inch and 14-inch, mine already pretty much has those layers built into it, so for me, it's just easier work. I'm also glad that I got 2 packs of this stuff, because I probably would have run out of hair if I just had one. So this is all I have left from the 14-inch pack, which is probably about maybe 2 feet or so left from the 14-inch. And from the 18-inch, I have probably about a little over 6 feet left of this stuff. So I used maybe half the pack of the 18-inch and most of the pack of the 14-inch. And then always be sure to put your hair away nicely, like always, you know, wrap it evenly, brush it out, and then I usually kind of fold it in half and put it back in the bag. And I usually try to put it back in the bag that it came in, that way I know exactly what hair color this is, what texture it is, what company it is when I go to use it later, so if I like it enough, I can go back and buy again. Alright, thank you guys again for watching this little tutorial. I hope it helped you guys out a little bit. I hope it answered some questions. I hope you guys will get out there and explore and kind of experiment with some hair and stuff like that. Be sure to also like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check out all my fun social media and website stuff down below. Any questions or comments and concerns, please feel free to email me with anything on Facebook or on my email down in the box. Additionally, now that there's this whole Google Plus YouTube integration crap, I'm not getting email notifications when I get comments. So if you're asking me a comment, if you're asking a question in the comment section below, I'm sorry if I don't get to it right away or if I don't see it. Blame you, YouTube and Google Plus. Don't blame me. Please, I'm sorry for any inconvenience about that. I try to go back and check the videos every so often to see if there's comments, but I'm not getting alerted through YouTube. So if you ask a question and I don't get back to you, I'm so sorry. Please, if it's an important question or an important comment or anything like that, just please feel free to email me. That way I'll definitely see it and I can get back to you. I'll see you guys again next week for another Wiggy Weavy Wednesday. Stay tuned. Thanks.